Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of Aligned Identity. Today's guest is none other than Paul Wellinton, who's a social media manager for the Cincinnati Public Library, a contestant on Fox's Lego Masters, a published author, and none other than a good friend of mine. We have a good conversation about a plethora of different topics. I hope you guys enjoy, and please, if you do, like, comment, subscribe. Keep supporting the channel, guys. It helps me a lot and puts a smile on my face. So thanks to all of you. I hope you enjoy this episode. You like the social media stuff?
Yes and no. So how I got involved in it is back in Milwaukee in 2019. A former classmate of mine, we both launched a nonprofit that was geared towards supporting local black businesses in Milwaukee. And when I say we, it was mostly me doing the work, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So I managed like all social media, building a website, things like that. And that's how I got involved. Otherwise, I just had my personal accounts for them. I did that, and then that led to me joining our volunteer social media team at the library in Milwaukee back in 2020. Things were a bit slow because of COVID, the library. So I asked, hey, can I manage Facebook and Instagram? They said, yeah. So did that. Then fast forward to 2022, I applied for a job here at the library in Cincinnati, and I got the job as a full-time social media specialist. So, I mean, it's nice. So I enjoy seeing like all the humorous posts out there. I like that part of it. But it's like sometimes I spend too much time, I think, online.
I hear you.
Because I feel like my job kind of extends beyond work hours. I always have to keep an eye on what folks are saying on library posts.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Like even when we've been out, you've like been like, oh,
I know.
I
It's
got
just
a
like
comment.
powering down. I can't do that. That's hard for me.
Well, that and you also are really good with like trends, and you have to pay attention to that. So it's like also you kind of have to consume a little bit of it too.
Exactly.
You know, like like you kind of
you have to keep up. Otherwise, you miss a lot, and then it helps you gain new followers that way if you kind of form those trends. So if you miss that, then it's less natural growth that way.
No, I get that. But that's again double-edged sword. It's like, oh, this is, when you're watching TikTok reels for, an hour, and then you're like, oh, well, I see what the trend is, I understand some of these things and you can use it, but on the other end, it's like I just crushed an hour watching reels,
I know, and I was never hooked up to TikTok until actually coming to Cincinnati. That's what really got me involved for this job. Because it's like, Maisie and other friends sent me content, but I never actually had my own account.
Right.
Or really had the app at all.
Yeah.
But now I do, and I'm on it all the time. Yeah. So
that's the duality of it, I guess. Damn, man. How are you liking Cincinnati compared to Milwaukee?
Well, it's much warmer here. That's the biggest thing for me. And I like the geography, like the hills, things like that.
Yeah.
I do miss the lake in Milwaukee because the river's not the same as the lake at all.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah, like we have an actual beach. Several beaches there. There's no beach on the river here, unfortunately. But there's a lot of similarities. There's very strong German influence, I would say, in both cities in terms of architecture, in terms of the food, the culture, and everything here and Milwaukee. But overall I enjoy it. It's nice. Yeah.
The word that you just said, architecture. We got to talk about it.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. So you went to school for how many years?
I was in school for 6 straight years, 2009 to 2015. So I went straight through, got my master's degree.
Yeah.
In architecture.
In architecture.
Yeah. And that was a lot of work, a lot of late nights, I would say, with that. So,
do you ever have ambitions of jumping back into it?
No.
Why not, Paul? Why not?
No,
we've talked about this before.
We have. My outlet right now is Lego.
Yeah.
I think it led me to it, pursuing a degree. But I realized that the industry is not for me. I wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
But I also have Lego too, which I am able to kind of be more creative, I think.
Okay.
With that. So that's my outlet for architecture right now.
Why would you say the industry is not for you?
I just realized I don't want to originally my goal was not to be on a computer all day. Obviously, it's changed now because I am. I know, unfortunately,
right.
that's unfortunately changed. But I just didn't want that at the time.
Yeah.
Whereas my job at the library, it was public facing, so I'm constantly helping out different patrons and customers there. So that's shifted now.
Yeah.
As like as you get older, your life shifts a little bit, your mindset shifts. But at the time, that was not what I wanted.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I like it. And then the book. That was one thing that, I don't know. In a way, you always text me like, I want to be like you, with little things. And like publishing that book, dude, not many people publish books. And like as soon as you told me when we were friends, right? I literally like looked up Paul Wellinton on Amazon and I saw your book. I was like, this dude was not lying. Like he actually I know, it's just like when you see someone's product actually on like Amazon or like on a real site, it's like, I don't know why, but it gave me like, wow, like he's killing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like first off, what's the book called? And then secondly, what influenced you to kind of make that book? Was it were you making the book through school? When did you start going into that?
So it was actually after school. So it's called Black Built, History and Architecture in the Black Community.
Okay.
So it's discussing the work of Black architects in the United States and how those buildings in the book had an impact upon the Black community.
Okay.
What led to that, actually, it was a blog originally. It was a blog. So we weren't really taught a lot about those architects in school. So I took it upon myself to kind of do some research, and I wanted to share that research with, I guess, basically with my Facebook friends and social media friends, pretty much. And then about a year after that, had the idea to turn it into a book. So I did more entries, compiled it together, and then I self-published the book. Yeah.
Just like that? Did you what's the progress of publishing a book?
I mean, it was a lot of work. I had to like hire an editor, things like that, and
hire an editor.
So I could have had the cover design by someone, but I did it myself. Yeah, because I have somewhat of a graphic design background.
Yeah, you do.
Somewhat of that.
Yeah, you do.
So I did it myself, and the hardest part, really, or most expensive part, was traveling around, getting all the photos for the book.
Yeah.
So about a third are my own. Another third I paid folks to do it for me.
Yeah.
Other third are just free of any copyright issues.
Okay.
So, but it was still expensive to get photos. That was the hardest part.
I bet.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a fun process. I learned so much from that, and I'm really proud of that book. And I hope to write a second book someday. Just like a time right now, with having 2 kids and Lego, just don't have time for that. But I actually had plans to write one after that was published, but just fell off the wheel right now.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I cannot believe that. Well, like obviously, it's a long process. It's not like this was all done within a month. How long did it take you?
A couple of years overall, from like from the blog inception to getting it published on like Amazon. It took a couple of years, I would say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the book, I looked at one review and I almost wanted to find an address and fight a lady. You know what review I'm talking about.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not for everyone. It's supposed to be an introduction. It's not going to be this in-depth novel about the building. It's not the point. It's about people who don't know about it. Here's a little information about it. If you want to learn more, I have a list in the back of the book where you can learn more about these architects and buildings.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever. Can't please everybody. So
fair enough. What got you into architecture? So like, were you a kid that just always looked at buildings, or like was it Lego?
Building. It was Lego, of course. I was into blocks for a bit, and then Lego around age 3 or 4. So then never stopped building. I've been building since age 3 or 4, so it's been 30 years at this point almost. So quite a long time, and that has led me. Like I love building what's around me, what I see, whether it's something like a house, a skyscraper, a car, a road, a park. Yeah. And then using that with Lego, and that led to me wanting to pursue a career in architecture. Yeah. And your parents were completely like on board with it? They loved that. They were on board with that, and they were not happy when I did not get a job in the field, but now they're okay with it. Yeah. Well, your parents obviously raised a wonderful kid. Did they? Yeah, I think you're a pretty cool guy. Yeah. You're just a modest guy. Sometimes. That's what it really is. You're just a humble king. I get it. No, that's not me. No, man. But your upbringing in Wisconsin, I'm a bit
your whole life in Wisconsin, right?
Until recently, 2
up
years
until
ago.
an adult,
Yeah.
and start doing stuff like that. Like, what was your upbringing like? Would you say it was a pretty normal suburban kind of thing? Because, like, I know.
Suburban. That's an interesting word to use there. No, not even close.
Well,
Not
describe
even
to
close.
me.
So, I was actually almost born in London. It's very close to being born in London.
Yeah. Because your dad, right? Your
My
dad.
dad is from there.
Got you.
So what happened is, my mom was going to move with him to London. However, my mom and my dad's mother, my grandmother, had issues.
Yeah.
They did not work out for them, so my mom wanted to move back here and had me in Milwaukee.
Gotcha.
So I was very close to being born in London. If they got along, I would have been British, full British.
Dual citizenship,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That would have
I
been.
actually can get that now. I could get that.
Oh, because your dad's.
Yeah,
That would be.
I haven't.
That would
gotten
be
it
kind of
yet,
cool,
but
man.
I can get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Fair
Could pay
enough.
off in the future. You never know.
Hey, man.
But yeah, so we started off not like I would say lower middle class
Okay.
at
Fair
that
enough.
point. And then eventually we got a bigger house in a decent neighborhood.
Yeah.
Parents divorced. I spent more time with my mom,
Yeah.
and then she eventually remarried. My half sister's dad, my stepfather, we had our issues. We did not get along at all, unfortunately.
I hear you.
They got divorced.
Yeah.
My mom remarried, and I have two stepbrothers who are both older from her current marriage.
Gotcha.
So I bounced around a lot growing up, and I think Lego was really nice because it's the one thing that was really constant in my life. So that's why I kind of stuck with that,
Yeah.
I would say.
No, that's cool. That's I'm glad you had something to kind of like always be consistent with and kind of, I don't know, get you through some tough times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But damn, I didn't know that. And then
I mean, not as difficult as what you went through, obviously,
Don't-
but still, it affected me.
that's the thing. I was not humbling Emily today, but it was something I spoke to Emily about because we were talking about like Northwest, right? And we
Mhm.
were doing a hypothetical of like Taylor Swift's baby, if she were to ever have one. I was like, imagine a Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift baby, you know, like
Oh my
that would be
media
the
from that. Oh my gosh.
right. That would be the most heralded baby ever, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, just imagine not having any problems. And I looked at her. I was like, honey, that baby's life would still have its own problems.
I mean, it's relative, but everyone has problems.
Everyone in their life has problems, and it's like they would never understand what it's like to go into a convenience store and not be recognized, or a Walmart. Imagine not being able to go anywhere without being recognized and like, oh my God, take a picture with me. I'm sure you got a little bit of that, but
like once a month, I already don't like it.
yeah, right. My point exactly. And like, you know, what you were just saying, like, I think everyone has difficulties of their own. Like I never had to deal with stepdads. I never had to deal with that in my personal life. And I never had that strife with them. I never had to, in the nicest way, accept step siblings. I'm sure that's complicated as well. And even from our conversations, I know that there's like expectations of being a brother and things. And, you know, that is difficult to manage. And like, I may have had stresses elsewhere. Yeah. That doesn't mean that what you didn't go through was difficult. You know that.
No, I get that. I didn't say, I'm just saying compared to you, it's a different level, but it still affected me. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So we're saying the same thing, I think.
Okay. We're in line. But, and then school was all cool. Did you enjoy high school?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I went to the best public high school in the city. I had an average time there. Nothing bad happened. Nothing great happened, really, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then college. Banger.
College was a rough time. Not rough, sorry. Interesting time.
Yeah,
Interesting. Not rough. Wrong choice of words there.
Right.
Going into architecture, freshman year was not too difficult, but then we got into studios starting sophomore year, so we're like our own workspace in the building, and it's a lot of late nights. I mean, we're up to 3, 4 a.m., if not all night sometimes as well, so just that adjustment was kind of a shock.
Yeah.
But after a while, I get used to it, and I think I still have that mentality where I can stay up late now these days, so I did it before, so I can do it again.
Just a workaholic?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because you're always trying to perfect your design.
Yeah.
It's always something you can do to better refine it. really. So we're just spending every possible waking minute doing that.
Dude, that's crazy.
It is crazy. That's how it goes. I mean, you could ask our friend Ryan about that. I mean, it's the exact same way. It's just rough, but you're almost expected to do that in a way.
Wow. Just to be at the top of the class?
Word, yeah, to even try to do that, yeah. If you don't, the chances are you will not succeed.
I mean, I think that's a good, I mean, it's a mixed bag. I think that's a good mentality in a way, like grinding to make sure, like, hey, I'm giving my best effort. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes work does require more hours. Sometimes it does take more effort to be great, truly.
Yeah.
But also, like, work-life balance. I do believe that in a sense. I do believe in work-life balance in a sense. Like, I think if you neglect relationships, friendships, a lot of social aspects, that's when, like, if you're depressed all the time, what's the point of all of it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Because you're planning for the future, I guess. So what does the future look like if you don't have time to, I mean, what is life?
Right. Gosh, man. And then, so you graduate, well, you have some fun in the meantime. Go to Japan, go to some cool places.
Japan was interesting. That was a fun place. Learned so much about the historic Japanese architecture there. That was great seeing that. It was awesome. Went to Boston as well for a class trip. It was pretty cool as well. Yeah, it was nice. But I learned so much. Like, I learned a lot of programs like Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, which I used actually in my
translated.
Job.
Like, it translated.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, translated to what I use for my current job as a social media specialist. So that was helpful in that regard.
Yeah.
But like I said, was that worth the cost that I'm paying for right now? Probably not. But it already happened, so I'm just gonna deal with that.
That's an interesting conversation in itself. Is like people who like get degrees in some things, and don't actually go through with that degree. Emily's dad, he got like a ornithology degree, which is like study of birds.
I didn't know that was even called, honestly.
Yeah. So he got a degree in that.
Yeah.
And like ended up selling like boats and like was a salesman and things like that. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm concerned about, and I know it's maybe a meme, is architecture, it's not under like the scope of art, right? It would not be like an art degree.
No, it's different.
Okay.
Completely different.
But that's like a joke, is like, you pay $80,000 for an art degree and then have nowhere to like translate that to.
And that's different, I think.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
I mean, for me, I had jitters going into the master's program, like having second thoughts, saying, should I actually be doing this right now? I'm not sure if this is for me, but I figured, I'll just suppress these feelings for now. That's what happened. That's what happened. And then here I am, not using, not in that field right now.
Yeah.
So I should have pursued a library degree, honestly, but I did not. And I'm not going back. But now school's time for me. I'm not paying another like 20, 30K to go back to school.
Yeah.
At this point.
I hear you.
So I just think that people who pursue those degrees should try to be absolutely sure that they want that.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it right now, you're not sure, hold off until you are sure, because it's a lot of money and it could affect you like
further
for a long term. Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. No, that's true. I feel like I won't blame my teachers or teachers in general, but it was very frowned upon when one of my friends, who I love to this day, he said something like, "You're going to end up like your dad." And he said that to me because I decided not to go to Central Michigan and that I was moving to Indiana. I wasn't going to go to college because I had like signed up for classes. I'd like done all the stuff. Only thing that I needed to do was just take out the loans to attend college. And long story short, like after a whirlwind of things happened, I decided not to go to school. And a lot of people thought like negative of me. Like they thought it was a wrong decision.
There's a stigma around that, 100%. I think that's changing slowly.
Yeah.
But still, it's still there. People think if you go to college, you won't amount to much in life.
Yeah. And the whole mindset I had was like, if I really wanted to go to college, I would go back.
Yeah.
And just to what you spoke to, it's like I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why should I just pick I was going to go into sports management because I was like, at least I like sports, like it's something. And I was like, oh, maybe one day I'll be a GM,
You never know. Yeah.
Oh gosh. But
He could have been.
Could have been,
Still could.
Still can,
Still could,
yeah. But essentially, I think my teachers also preached the same thing. It was like, prepare you for college, prepare you for college, prepare you for college. They never were stopped for a second and was like, how about I prepare you for life? How about even the trades and things like that? It's not like the teachers in school are really like pushing those things. And I know that's a big thing now. Like, I think that's, it's not a meme, but it's just like people talk about that is like, oh, go into trades. You can have a consistent lifestyle. I mean, yeah, plumbing may suck.
But it pays very well, though.
But it pays very well.
Yeah.
And then if you have the entrepreneurial spirit and make your own plumbing business further down the line, then you don't even have to touch any of the plumbing problems, and you own your own business and run that. You got to make sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that like needs to be spoken about more. And it's not always the college route. And I think it's really cool because I will admit, like you said, you learned some programs and it translated over to your real job that you're using now. And that's really cool, and that's really important that like you can gain skills and use them for other things. I think that's growth, that's development. But I don't think...
Is that worth like paying 20, 30, 40K? Probably not.
Bingo, you got me exactly.
I can learn that on YouTube for free, probably.
Right,
yeah.
Which is like what we kind of talked about earlier. That's such a resource with so much information. And gosh, man.
I want to see more life skills classes taught in high school or really throughout school, like how to cook, how to change a tire, how to do your taxes, things like that.
Taxes.
Oof. Taxes are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but we just use like the Intuit TurboTax or whatever it is. It's just easy to just boot it up.
Of how to do it ourselves, like understand how it actually works. We don't really have that knowledge, and I feel like that would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that, and I mean, I'm sure I'll segue into like your nonprofits and stuff. So like when you first started your other nonprofit in Wisconsin and stuff, I mean, was it complicated to start that?
So my partner did more of like the legal side of things. I just did like
the actual
like what you see,
how to run it. Yeah.
So I managed all social media, all marketing, and the website. That was me.
Fair enough.
Doing that. So, it was a little bit, but I didn't handle much of that.
Yeah,
I would say.
And now you started the Lego nonprofit, which we kind of talked about earlier. What is that called?
So that's called Pass the Bricks. I'm a local ambassador for the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. So that was started by a teen actually, in California, where what he does is he collects either new or used Lego bricks or sets. He cleans them if they're dirty. Then he makes smaller sets and assembles those, makes instructions, and gives those to kids in need. And the kids in need could be like kids in the hospital, kids with special needs, kids that are low income, so all different types of kids can use Lego. And like I said for me earlier, Lego was really important in my childhood, so it got me through some tough times. So never know what it could help someone else do in the future.
Yeah. Well, I spoke about it in the car, but I'll bring it up now. But it's like, I think it's really honorable and like really freaking cool, man, that like you can impact lives through it. I genuinely think, like, as a person, I think for myself too, and how I feel about life is like, if you can influence people, if you can be a good role model, if you can like impact people's lives in a positive way, and I think that's how we're supposed to live our life. Because like inevitably we're gonna die. The best thing you can do is try to give positivity, impact someone's life in a positive way. And that's just how I believe. I don't think like financial success is everything, you know.
No, it's not.
But giving back to the community and like actually helping people, I think that's a formula to a good life, man.
So what's your way of helping people? Your podcast, motivating people?
Podcast a little bit.
Yeah.
Building healthy habits, sure. I think a lot of times way I try to give back? It's a great question and a good challenge in a way, because
I mean, it could be your podcast. I think that works.
it would work, but I want to be truthful. This is a way for me to hopefully inspire and impact people. So yes, I could say yes, but I don't think it's as intimate as like what you're doing. You get to see the faces that you're impacting. You get to literally be hands on the ground and see the kind of changes that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so cool. And like, I guess that's how I view it. And this podcast, hopefully, and I've got some people to text me, and I've definitely inspired some people.
So you are doing that then. There you go. It's working. It's happening.
Humbly, yes. But I think the other way you can do it is by like being a good person and like on day-to-day things. And you are too, but it's like even a waitress or a bartender or heck, a mailman or something, like just small interactions with random people.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should really you can impact someone's day by how you treat them.
Even just a smile can go a long way.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
And I think it really does warm up people's hearts. And I think that's how we're meant to be in a way, is like people to build each other up.
Mm-hmm.
And especially how we are now. I mean, it's not like we're all fighting for resources in this first world country. And it's like, why would we not try to build each other up? And
I agree with that.
And that's what you're doing, Paul. You're
I'm
building
trying
people
to.
up,
I'm
man.
trying to, yeah.
Brick by brick.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's been great because so I was on Lego Masters, as you know, and
Right.
ever since then, I wanted to give back to the community. This is my way of doing that, I would say.
Yeah.
And I just want people to have the same opportunity that I had growing up. So I'm hoping that this will impact some kids long term.
Yeah.
Going
Absolutely.
forward. Yeah.
And I'm sure it will. And could be their first Lego set.
It might be.
That's pretty incredible to think about. Like, I don't know if you remember your first Lego set, do you?
It was some city themed set. I'm not sure the exact set, so not quite.
Yeah. Okay. But you remember the Legos,
Exactly,
like you
yeah.
remember like, oh, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like just continued building on from that. Since you brought it up, Lego Masters. Gosh, dude. We had became
What a
friends.
time.
Dude,
Yeah.
we had became friends like obviously after you recorded the show.
Yeah.
You were back in Cincinnati and stuff. I forget how many months it was, but I
So,
remember
it was 6 weeks. We were there all of March and half of April of last year, 2023.
wow.
So quite a long time, actually.
6 weeks.
6 weeks away from my wife and 2 kids. It was a little bit rough on her, but we got through it. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gosh, dude, that whole process and stuff. How did the interview process go? And like, how long did that take for you to even hear back? Like, oh, you got the role. Let's go.
So let me back up first of all.
Yeah.
So I share my Lego work online, and I was approached by Fox to apply for Lego Masters actually every single season of the show. But my job in Milwaukee, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't have the PTO, unfortunately, to do that, or the flexibility to work from home. So I moved here 2022, and I was approached again around October of that year or so to try and apply for the show.
Yeah.
I asked my job at library, can I apply? I said, go for it.
Okay. Shout out Cincinnati Public Library.
Yep, there we go. Yeah. And I asked my friend to go on with me, and we tried out. Fox said, we like you, not your friend. Find somebody else. I was like, who could I possibly find at this point? We're both really quiet, so it doesn't really work out for TV too well.
I hear you.
So that's a long shot. I asked my sister, do you want to be partners on Lego Masters?
Yeah.
And she said yes. I was like, oh my goodness. So, and my sister, who we don't know if she is very outgoing.
She is.
Big personality, which is not me. I'm very reserved and quiet and shy.
Yeah,
So
debatable.
usually
But I hear
usually
you. I
am.
hear you.
So we interviewed. Actually, I drove to Milwaukee.
Okay.
I'm in a library to have a live like Zoom interview with producers from the show. Um, and actually we were very loud because we're like trying to like show our personality in that show or for the show.
Yeah.
And someone next door in the meeting space like came over and like knocked on the window. They were saying you guys are too loud, but it turns out she's like very excited for us. This woman, she had canceled her appointment just to hear our interview, our story about applying for the show, which is crazy. And she said, "Oh, you guys will make the show. I just know you will." Turns out we made the show.
Oh,
long
that's
story
sick.
short,
Yeah.
So after that interview, though,
we
got past that initial interview. Next step was for my sister to fly out to Cincinnati.
Okay.
For a live build challenge with other possible teams across the country and Canada as well.
All in Cincinnati?
No, so live live Zoom.
Oh, okay,
build challenge.
Yeah. My apologies.
So we wanted partners together. For that. Yeah. And what's scary is we actually had audio issues for our laptop where it was just super quiet. So I was worried that we wouldn't make the show at all. And while building, each team was interviewed by additional producers at that point.
Okay.
And there was some pretty good teams on there. Some teams that did not make the show, unfortunately.
Got you.
I think the issue was some of those teams, they had great talent, but not have the personality for being on TV, unfortunately. Yeah. But somehow we made it past that, and we got the call 2 days later. We made the show.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Damn. No,
it's like, how do you even process that? Making a national televised show is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that would ever happen?
I know, man. And I mean, to be fair, you've taken the experience pretty humbly. I mean,
I would say so.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and you capitalized on it in the sense that like you made the nonprofit and like you're making appearances with Lego things, building that out. How long did it take before filming? So you found out that you are going to be on the show. How long did it take before you guys had to film?
So we found out in late December, early January.
Okay.
And then we started filming 2 months later.
Wow.
Roughly. So it was a pretty quick process, and having to get things in order at work and at home was a little stressful. But yeah, it worked out.
Shout out Maisie.
Yeah.
Oh my
really.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The real MVP.
Really? Yeah. Well, the thing, I didn't know how long I would be gone for because like I could have been gone after the first episode, but I was there for the entire 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We ended up being third place in the show, so every episode I was there.
Yeah.
And we actually had a vacation planned to London in late March.
Shoot.
This was like planned back in summer.
Right.
Before the show was even a possibility.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll probably go home after this week. It never happened. So unfortunately, we couldn't go to London. We lost there was no refund, unfortunately, for the tickets. I know. It was a good deal, but a lot of money still lost.
Yeah, I hear you.
So Maisie and the kids, they actually went to Jamaica to visit my grandparents.
Told me about that.
Instead, which is good for them. So she was able to get some help with the kids for a little bit. So that worked out.
Yeah.
Well for them.
Would have been nice if you could have went to Jamaica too.
Would have been nice.
Shoot, man.
I will say that they did stop over briefly. I saw them like midway through filming. Cool. Literally for like 10 minutes. That's it.
Hey.
And I
good
gave
to see you.
Basically a hug. How's it going? Okay, bye. Pretty much it. Yeah, it was nice seeing them.
Yeah. Was there, so this is 2023 and obviously the show and stuff. I don't want to get too deep because I do know some of the things that we talked about, but like, were they very serious about like social distancing and things like that? Did they take heavy precautions for COVID?
Not initially.
Okay.
Until someone on the show caught COVID, and then things were pretty strict after that.
Got you.
I will say that one contestant on the show was very serious about taking precautions.
Okay.
Once they left the show, things eased up a bit.
Got you. Okay. So like like the producers and stuff were trying to make them feel more comfortable and taking it very more serious for them. Is that like
kind of a mix of that
and other people too, right? Like other casts.
The person who caught COVID is separate than the person I'm talking about now.
Right. I understand.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But then once that person left after like 2 episodes, after the person COVID went home, things eased up a bit.
Yeah.
I would say.
How nervous were you for that first episode?
I mean, walking out into the set, seeing the brick pit,
seeing
Will Arnett, which is crazy.
Will Arnett,
actual
man.
celebrity.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And seeing the Jamie and Amy, which Jamie, he's designed a lot of the official Lego sets, which is crazy to see him. I was just like, how am I even here right now?
Yeah.
Out of all possible people who apply for this show, how am I even
dreaming.
here? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, just kind of in awe.
Yeah.
Really. And then I was just nervous with the first challenge. It's like you don't know where things fully are located
Right.
on the set. It takes you a few episodes to kind of get familiar with that process, organization. So really, it's just like filling out what the judges expect for the show, how my sister would build in a timed time challenge, and just kind of going from there. And we didn't go home.
Didn't go home.
Episodes. We weren't bottom 2, so that worked out for us.
Did it feel like a win? It was like,
well, our goal is to not go home first.
Yeah, right.
Bonus.
Can't be first.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be first. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And then so like, what episode? Obviously, like you guys. I mean, I hate to spoil parts of the show, but you guys just need to go watch it
now. It's
on
YouTube. Yeah.
But the telescope was obviously really cool in that challenge.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, the rug was pretty cool too, like from the viewer perspective, but it was so ambitious, dude.
It was ambitious. It was not to the actual scale of the real rug, but they did a lot of bricks were laid down, I would say, which is impressive on its own right. But the telescope, oh my gosh, I saw it right away. It's like, you know what, we can build that.
Yeah,
I just knew it right away.
No, that was a good pick, man.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, you killed it. I mean, it looked even like up close. It still looked pretty smooth around the like edges and everything like that. Like you guys made that like top notch. It was a really good. Obviously, you guys won that challenge.
Yes.
So that's got to feel pretty good.
That was awesome.
But that was a couple weeks in too. Like
that was like episode 5 or 6. I think 5 or so. So that was pretty far in there.
Right. So like you guys, how are you guys feeling at that point? Like obviously week 1, okay.
Week 1
we didn't go home first, right? Like
I think our worst challenge was the 3rd episode, which was the volcano.
Okay.
Because we were one of like about 4 teams who had misunderstood the challenge rules. So we actually had to tear it down 2 hours in completely and start from scratch.
Did they show that on the show?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not shown at all on the show.
So there's no well, it's because you ultimately didn't go home. That would have probably played a bigger piece if you guys went home in that challenge.
I think so.
But so you guys literally tore it down.
And in my opinion, because we're not a fast building team.
Yeah. And
we lost 2 hours, we had the worst design of that challenge, in my opinion. But one of the requirements was to have like several different things have movement.
Yeah.
And ours worked.
Yep.
The 2 teams who were in the bottom 2, theirs did not work.
Whew.
So we got lucky.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was by far our worst design. And we had actually had a lot of issues. We didn't talk very, very often in the episode with my sister because we were just upset with each other.
Oh.
Even though it wasn't really our faults. It was just one of those things where we're upset, we're tired, we're hungry. Let's just go on our own for a bit, do our own separate thing, and come together after like 4 or 5 hours.
I get that.
Yeah.
So what's the building like? You have X amount of hours and stuff. Well, actually, to stop that, I mean, in that challenge, that was absolutely crazy. I thought this, like, the guys who went home, I know you had, like, complimented them, like, they were good builders for that show.
Oh, they're a great team,
But I thought it was kind of cool that they did the obelisk. Like,
I mean, it's great, but it's not a volcano.
It's not a volcano.
Yeah, and they were told that several times by the judges. They're one of the teams too. Yeah. Who didn't follow the rules.
Okay.
As well.
Right.
Initially. So really, I mean, strong team, but I think they were too ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
And their movement did not work at all because it required too much lava flow, which was not going to happen at all, unfortunately. Had it worked, they may have been safe.
Would have been cool.
But they had no chance. This is after the previous challenge with the cat house. They were bottom 2 as well because they had an issue where their ramp was not connected to their cat house, so it was not deemed safe for the kitten to be used on there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So back-to-back bottom 2s, and they just went home.
Yeah.
But they were a top 3 team in terms of this, talent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just overly ambitious.
Yeah, that's true. And, I mean, obviously, as the challenges went on and stuff, I do feel...
I got a cough. Hold
Yeah, you're good. No, cough right into the microphone. Let everyone hear it. The obviously the finale was wild. But before we get to that, the roller coaster one was interesting because you guys did something unique, and because you guys had the 2 double loops, right?
Correct. And that was not our initial concept either.
Right. Oh, okay.
We were just going to have one, and then we had planned to have like a straight drop.
Yeah.
We could not figure out how to make it, so we pivoted to having a second loop.
Yeah.
And it worked out. I mean, we knew we couldn't beat Christopher and Robert. We knew we couldn't beat Sam and Nina. Our goal was to beat Emily and Kelly. And it came down to technical ability versus storytelling. Yeah. In that case,
you guys
technical ability won out. I think it was very close. Still could have went either way.
Yeah.
But it was super close.
I'll give it to theirs was cute. That was the B one, right?
Was it the flowers and the little like insects? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but
it
wasn't.
Great.
But it wasn't a very like technically advanced one. It looked like a very.
They played it pretty safe with their
the roller coaster
design. That was the issue with them.
Yeah, and that makes sense. If you're doing a coaster like challenge, your coaster better be sick. You know what I mean?
They were going for more like a family friendly coaster, but in the eyes of the judges, it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
unfortunately for them.
Especially like when you think about it, that one judge is the one who like created it, right? Am I crazy to?
He was the head, led the team for that, head designer for that. Yeah, Jamie.
Jamie, yeah. So like, you know, you kind of got to impress. You kind of got to impress that guy.
And I think that Chris and Robert with their ramp. Oh my gosh, that was the best build the entire season.
I agree.
I think it was
to see his face because he for anyone listening, even in the beginning of the show when these contestants, Christopher and Robert, described to them what they were going to do and how they were going to do it, he warned them. He's like, "Hey, I have years of experience. I like created this.
So wild.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah.
But good luck." You know, like he even warned them, like, "Hey, this probably is not gonna work. Like, you know, we would have tried this or something along those lines." And somehow they defied.
I mean, they
the laws of
impressed him, which is the only time I think he's been that impressed.
Yeah.
At least in our season. That was, oh my gosh.
It was incredible.
What an accomplishment from them. They were great. They were fantastic.
Yeah, and obviously they had some character to them, right? Like it was
more so
pretty
Christopher,
fun.
But yeah, they both had character. Yeah.
Did you we'll talk about this a little bit and then get into the finale, but did you like hit it off with everyone from the cast? Most people?
All but one person, yes.
Fair enough.
I won't get into that.
Well, I mean, you're a pretty easy-go-lucky, friendly guy, so I have a feeling if you didn't get along with someone, there's probably something a little wrong
and it was more so
on their end, but
I got along with them. It's just that, how do I say this? Not preferred company.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense.
That is a great answer. You are interview ready. Holy man. Were there any rivalries that or like?
Oh yes, not with us.
Yeah.
But Christopher and Robert and Nina and Sam were huge rivals on the show. They were always trying to outdo each other and like go bigger. Like Sam and Nina went so big in terms of their builds.
Yeah.
So fast that forced everyone, including us, to kind of build bigger and better.
Yeah.
As well. So our issue is, like I said, we were a slow building team. So let's try to build bigger and have more detail. It's really hard to do that.
Yeah. Sam and Nina were pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Even in the show, they showed that their builds were just massive, and they could build so fast. It was very intriguing. And Christopher and Robert, they pulled out that chair out of nowhere. That was not an easy build either.
No,
you know, like
I mean,
Sam and Nina picked the rug, and then they're like, "What's the next biggest thing?"
The rug is not hard to build. It's just a matter of time.
It's the like
the sheer size of it. Yeah,
right.
But it's easy to do that. It's just
a
matter of the chair was like the balance.
Oh yeah,
they had the entire like the chair portion balanced on legs. So they actually were off the ground, which is like, oh, how do you do that with Lego?
With Legos,
and it worked. I mean, the base is great. The design of the chair, like the very top of it, was not quite there yet. Ran out of time, but they put down a lot of bricks still.
Yeah,
in a short amount of time.
No,
so they did a good job with that.
Did it? But their rivalry, that wasn't just show. Like even like Offset, they were kind of like joking about the rivalry and stuff.
So yeah, I mean, it's not like,
I'm coming after you. Like,
it's not that serious. No,
right,
but definitely on somewhat off camera, they were rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the finale obviously comes up. You guys make the finale. Talk about nerve-wracking.
Well, here's the thing. So we both knew that we could not beat Christopher and Robert. We just knew we couldn't do it, and that's fine. Our goal is to try our best and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say this: I was hoping that Emily and Kelly would win or like make it to the finale. So that week, I was like homesick. Honestly, I wanted to go home.
I know. I was gonna bring
I
that
figured
up.
we couldn't beat them. So like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I want to go home. But I think we had a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing creations from both Christopher, Robert, and Sam. Like what they actually built. That tree was amazing.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then the plane, obviously, the sheer size of that was like, how do you pull this off?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think with them both being talented on their own, and then the ability to build fast, I think the design finished product, it's a lot like, how do I want to say this? You see the difference, the contrast, us versus them.
Sure.
It's going to happen
like
that way.
The imagination, they could kind of expand a little more
And
because
for me,
of their
like,
abilities.
My sister, she did great, but she doesn't have the capability to like design things on her own
right.
for the show.
Right.
In that capacity. So like I have to like tell her everything, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time focusing on what I'm doing, what she's doing, and this takes up time to do that, unfortunately.
Right. Christopher and Robert probably knew how to design exactly what they wanted, had like that
vision there.
Yeah. I totally get that. And yeah, your sister was hilarious. I will give it to her. She had some bangers in there.
She did. She had a couple of nice one-liners in there too.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was a good time, and I'll never forget that snow part.
Oh yeah.
The Will Arnett just throwing this fake snow in your sister's face, and it seemed like she was getting pissed off.
She was.
But yeah, I was gonna say, you told me she's like, no,
yeah.
She was actually
it was
pissed
in her
off.
eyes, her mouth.
Yeah. And he just kept throwing more.
Kept going. It didn't stop at all.
Oh, Will
it's crazy.
Arnett.
Yeah, but it was a good time. That was her favorite challenge.
Yeah.
Because she probably, if not the best pose, top 2 best poses there.
Yeah.
I think of all the contestants.
Well, the bag was dope. Me and Emily,
and that was the only challenge which she actually led the design of that. Cause like I'm not sure to design a bag at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do there.
Yeah.
So that was mostly her.
No, she killed it. Cause I thought the bag was cool. I mean, obviously Christopher and Robert, shout out them again. Their bag was really unique and cute.
I think Nina and Sam should have been second place.
I thought theirs was awesome. The satchel, I was so surprised.
I don't know why they weren't second. I don't fully understand that either. My only guess is because it wasn't chic or stylish.
It was a Vera Bradley bag is what it looked like.
Yeah, that's my only guess.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't understand how they weren't second place.
Yeah, I could see that. And yours definitely, you guys got second place in that one, right?
We were second place, which really shocked me. Should have been third, I think. But yeah, it was a good challenge, I think, for us.
No, I thought it was really cool. So to kind of get back to your point, like in the finale, you have 24 hours to build something.
It's a long time, but not enough, really.
Obviously, you guys are not staying up 24 straight hours.
No, it was filmed straight through.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
No.
Whoa.
That was over 3 days.
So, so how's that broken down?
So roughly 8 hours each day, give or take. And then, like, the next half day is just for, like, judging, pretty much.
Okay.
Presenting, judging, things like that.
Gotcha.
So it was definitely like a 3.5 day process.
That could be, like, that's pretty cool. Because, like, you could, after one day, be like, oh, this is what we need to do tomorrow. And, like, this is kind of, you can game plan a little bit.
You can, but it was just so stressful with that. Like, for us, we had set goals. Like, I want this to be done at this time and so forth. But the biggest issue for us was our cliff.
Yeah.
Took about 14 hours to build.
Wow.
Which was way too much time. And now I regret, that actually was added because we wanted to add more height to our house. It wasn't in our original plan. We saw Nina and Sam going big with their trees. Like, we had to add some height to ours. So, again, them forcing everyone else to build bigger led to us not having enough detail, I think, in their final build.
I get that.
Yeah.
They were really pushing the envelope. Like,
well, starting with that clock tower. Remember the clock tower?
oh my gosh.
Going back to the sound challenge, that was like a good 4-5 feet tall. It was ridiculous. How do you have time for laying this much brick down?
And they crushed that in like 10 hours? Like 8 hours?
Something like that, 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, it was really impressive.
Yeah, they were real impressive.
They were the fastest building team there, I think. Yeah. I think personally, Sam is the best individual builder.
Wow.
In our season.
That could be a hot take.
I think it is. Not the best team, but best individual builder.
Best individual builder.
I think he is.
Goes out to Sam.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've told that before, but I think he is.
Fair enough. No,
or at least I would say most well-rounded builder.
Yeah.
At least that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that and you are a master builder, so I should probably respect your opinion.
Well, the thing is too, like before the show, I only built to say like microscale cities. So like go on the show and build things like telescopes, cat houses, volcanoes. Like it's something I could never imagine doing. But when you're there, just do it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's insane, man.
Yeah,
because it's not like you practice at when was the last time you practiced a cat house or
never exactly
smashed two things together and tried to build a car out of it.
Never happened before. Yeah. So, that was just really a nice way to kind of challenge myself and to see what I can do.
Yeah.
So actually, one reason I wanted to go on the show was because I want to challenge myself and say like, hey, I am more than just a city builder. I can build other things as well, and I think I proved that to myself.
Yeah, you sure?
And I guess the world to some degree as well.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to make top 3, that's not many people even have. So not many people have even been on the show, but not even many people have been a finalist. How many seasons of the show have there been?
4.
So what? 4 times 3, 12 people have been in that position.
Well, 12 teams.
Right, I'm saying in top. Oh, how many seasons?
There's 2 people in each team.
How many seasons?
4.
There's 4 seasons.
Yeah. Okay, but 4 times 3 is the teams, not the people. You said people.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah, my bad. So 12 teams total.
Yeah, that's
of Lego Masters history have ever been in the finals.
Yes,
and
that's
you.
In the U.S. version.
In the U.S.
version.
Yeah.
Clarify
Fair enough. The other one's Australia.
There's a lot actually. Australia, UK, other ones I don't know, but I've heard UK is very dry.
Oh.
Australian is the best version of the show. It's more focused on techniques and building, whereas US is focused on kind of like personalities and characters.
Yeah.
Which a lot of folks don't like that, but some do.
Yeah.
Obviously enough do. The show's still on, so.
Yeah. That's fair. The Will Arnett part of it is pretty funny. You were kind of telling me like he's pretty funny off camera too.
So it's more of the adult themed jokes off camera,
right? Which is I feel like that's his natural level, right? Like he's just a funny guy.
He is. Everything for the show is scripted. So he has like a earpiece and he gets direction to say something pretty much.
Got you.
Whereas things that are clearly off camera, we'll joke about, and it's just like, oh my god, things I won't say right here.
Right.
They're quite funny.
Yeah, I bet. And when he's coming around to you guys, is that like, Will get away from me or like?
Pretty much, because like everyone gets a turn, which is great, but like I'm in the middle of like a thought process for design or building something that's pretty intense. I don't really want to talk to you right now.
Yeah,
obviously you can't say that.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of his job is to come talk to you.
The time is built into the challenge for the check-ins.
Yeah,
so that's part of the process.
Yeah, your sister did a good job of, bantering with him
she
quite
did.
a bit. I give it to her.
I'm like, you go ahead and talk.
Right.
I'm the builder. You can talk to Will. There you go.
That was a strategic decision.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. So after the show and everything, obviously, it's good to be back home. How was homesick? You brought that up. Like, at what point was it like, dude, this is exhausting? Because you were there for
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Around episode 6 or 7 or so. Like this is late March at this point. I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I was just, I miss my kids. I miss my wife. I miss the routine of life.
Yeah.
Because like, it's nice for a bit, but with like at a certain time, just like I just want to go home. And it's just stressful being under a timed environment for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
I would say.
I get that.
Yeah. But then coming home actually after the show, because we had like hair, makeup, wardrobe every single day. Like coming home was like I felt lost, like not having someone to do my hair for me.
Yeah.
To give me my clothes. It felt kind of odd for like a good week or so.
Wow.
It was so weird.
They gave you wardrobe?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All the clothing was being approved by a wardrobe team.
Wow.
And initially, we had a local team in Atlanta. But I guess the producers didn't like that, so they flew in someone from L.A. to manage that, and I guess that worked out. Yeah.
Oh, the L.A. people,
I guess so, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So now I have like 30 outfits from the show I got to keep.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a lot. It's all yellow, though. It's too much yellow for me.
Yeah. Yeah, everything was yellow.
Every
Was that
thing.
Was that by your guys' intention or what?
So we're from Wisconsin originally, both of us. It's known for cheese. Cheese is yellow. That was their thought process behind that.
That is so out of touch.
Well,
that is such an LA interpretation of Wisconsin, bro.
What else would it be though? Would it be like cow print? What else would it be though? What else would it be?
Right. I mean, how about you just dress normal?
I would like
some
that.
people.
Well, I guess they want each team to be recognized.
Oh, okay.
So like obviously Emily and Kelly had pink. Tim and Tim in overalls because they're from Texas.
That was
that's
why. Funny.
Yeah,
that was.
So every team had like a different theme that they kind of adhered to for the entire duration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give.
I still don't like it, but that's what happened.
I just don't like L.A. people typecasting the Midwest. Cheese. That's all they have in their state.
They must wear yellow.
Yeah, they must wear. Yeah. Oh, they should have let you wear some Packer stuff at least.
So when my friend and I applied, we wore green.
Okay.
And they liked that. But I guess when my sister and I applied, they wanted yellow instead. So let's switch for some reason.
Damn. Yeah. Damn. What was it like coming back to work after all that? Obviously,
So actually, I still worked while filming the show. I worked 2 hours each day.
Whoa.
Well, a little more than that. It was 16 hours per week.
Yeah.
I worked after filming. So I was always exhausted, really. And just having to be online and focus after filming or being on set for 12 hours or so, or longer than that, it's just very exhausting. So, coming back to work was everyone's asking me questions about the show. I can't say much until they announce it later on in the summer. So that was kind of hard.
Yeah.
But after a week or so, I was fine.
Yeah.
The hardest thing was not being able to answer questions about the show.
Yeah.
For me.
I'm sure, especially with people you care about and stuff. And it's I want to tell you, but obviously I can't.
And I told 3 people the outcome of the show.
Yeah.
Obviously my wife.
Right. Because
and then 2 other friends I told, close friends.
Yeah. Because what else?
Well, she was there anyway.
She kind of knew. Okay.
Yeah, she knew. But I told her up to that point anyway what was going on.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes sense. And then obviously the show comes out and stuff. What was it like where were you and what was it like getting recognized for the first time?
So the first promos of the show came out in summer of last year. Not much really happened at that point.
Yeah.
And then closer to the premiere date in late September, Fox reached out to local Fox affiliates for interviews. So what was nice is being from Milwaukee my whole life. So recently I had interviews both here and in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's kind of a double duty there.
That's
with
cool.
Interviews. Yeah.
No,
initially I had more interviews in Milwaukee for the longest time until towards the finale, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. You told me about that. I was pretty pissed about Cincinnati people not reaching out to you.
Yeah.
It was clear as day. You know what I mean? Obviously Milwaukee was we want to interview Paul.
Yeah.
It's Cincinnati. You're home now, you know?
Exactly.
It was come on,
so I was
man.
a little shocked about that at first, but it definitely picked up towards the end of the season.
I hear you.
And it was just a lot at first because I had interviews both with TV stations, my UWM, my alma mater in Wisconsin. I went to school.
Yeah.
Lego blogs as well. So it was a lot initially.
Yeah.
It died down a bit until the finale happened, and it really picked up at that point.
Well, you're a finalist,
I'm a finalist,
bro. I'm a finalist.
Yeah, so everyone's on the interview. Myself, my sister at that point. So there's a lot going on. And then even after the finale aired, which was in December, a few months ago, I was still getting interviews because I had these different Lego appearances at the library.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting press from that. It was just nonstop for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's still happening today.
Yeah.
We're in March. It's still happening.
Yeah. And I mean, beyond that, you were just telling me,
Yeah.
like, even in April, I mean, you have, like, stuff lined out all through,
Oh
like, the
yeah, I
summer,
have
right?
tons of like appearances. I've had this year alone. I've had at least 10 appearances or shows,
Yeah.
and I'm busy really through June. I have a couple more after that through November, really. So it's just been a fun ride though.
Yeah.
Sometimes exhausting, but it's been a fun, enjoyable ride.
Yeah. Well, I would say you take it in stride well. Like, from our friendship before to now, nothing has absolutely changed about you. And that's
I'm trying to be humble. Trying to
you.
stay humble.
You,
I
you
don't want
are,
fame
man.
to change me. Money might. I don't have money for this.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But fame, I'm more reserved. So like, I'd rather not be in the spotlight if I can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the show been treating your sister like afterwards?
Pretty good. So now she teaches Lego classes. She teaches Lego classes in Milwaukee right now.
Okay, cool.
At the schools there.
Nice.
And that's been going really well, both for kids and separately for adults. And
Okay.
yeah, she's teaching some really locally well-known people. So they're enjoying it so far.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So good for her. Which to me is shocking because like she's touched Lego 15 years first time and like last year. So
Yeah.
but she's learned so much, picking up pretty quickly, and they're going well for her.
No, I could imagine that. Like that being put in the environment for, like you said, like 6-8 weeks. Like you're gonna learn
You're
something.
gonna learn something.
Yeah.
Put something up. Yeah.
Right. No, that's cool that she's able to like use it though, because like obviously you did you have your like you had your socials set up before going on to the show. Like you had someone reach out to you from Fox because they saw like your builds like on your socials and things like that.
So I shared until recently. I shared all my work on Flickr, which is a photo sharing website.
Okay, thank you.
I
was like, I'm very unaware.
Think of Instagram, but with less comments.
Okay.
And it's like an older user face now, so it's not like there's an app for it, but like it's more of a web-based platform.
Gotcha.
At this point, so they found me through that.
Okay.
So they originally reached out to me on there, and then eventually like Facebook and Instagram. Because I have my own personal accounts.
Got you.
But it's a great way of like that's actually the blog, which I had for 5 or 6 years, which was sharing fan-made Lego architecture creations.
Oh, nice.
And actually, it got pretty popular at one point. I actually was recognized by Lego for about a year or so.
That's cool.
This got too big for me, so I ended it pretty much. I cut it back and eventually just ended it.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Ended it before the show, which is unfortunate. Like 5 months before the show, I ended it. Before I even applied.
You knew. Right, yeah.
Damn. Would have been helpful, but
yeah.
Oh well. But now I have my personal accounts. Facebook is more so for family, friends, people I've met in real life, and not than Instagram is my main platform.
I get that
right now for fans.
You want to plug that real quick? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Luap Bricks, LUAP Bricks. That's Paul backwards, by the way. And yeah, follow me on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What was it? I'm trying to think. Is there anything you want to talk about? I'm out here thinking. I think it's really interesting how like you as a father and Maisie as a mother, like you guys have really been like hands-on with like Violet and stuff like that. Like you guys do so many things for her and like take her to events, all these things, like the tennis thing with Venus Williams. Like you guys, I don't even know how you find that. You know what I mean? Like, and she does cheerleading, she does Girl Scouts, and just a plethora of other things. And crew, obviously, he's still little one, but like
he'll definitely be involved in activities.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, like climbing out of cribs. You know, he's just gonna be a
yes.
rock climbing champion. But no, man, I'm curious. Like, what is it like being so busy all the time? Because like you're traveling, you got lineups for your Lego events, but also like you do a good job of balancing home life.
Jeez.
dying.
There we go.
That's not getting cut, by the way.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna keep that in there.
I think for me, balance can be very challenging.
Yeah.
This all started me being busy when I formed the nonprofit in Milwaukee back in 2019. So I had that going, and in 2020 on the holidays, so a year later, we had a gift box fundraiser, which did very well. And then my wife and I spun off from our nonprofit and had a for-profit gift box business.
Yeah.
So I have a nonprofit, the for-profit, and my full-time job, and Violet, my daughter at the time.
Yeah.
It's a lot to manage right there.
Yeah.
A lot to manage. And I think moving here in 2022, we were just too busy, so we cut back. We ended the gift box business.
Yeah.
I stepped away from a nonprofit, which is still going on right now in Milwaukee, and things were pretty quiet.
Yeah.
However, I didn't like that.
Hold my beer.
I like to
hold
stay
my
busy.
beer.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a tendency to want to stay busy.
Yeah.
Because I get bored. I'm not, unfortunately. I wanted things to be quiet. I just can't live like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to, but it's hard. I feel like my time should be spent doing something.
I hear you.
So now I have my own Lego to build with, plus past the bricks right now. So between that, full-time job and with the family, quite busy now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, what are some of your goals? Because like you already have so much going on now. Like, you know, one thing that we were doing and we should get back to every Friday, we should go lift. But I know, you know,
Next Friday.
Next
Let's
Friday.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And then what happens when you got to travel and stuff? But we'll get to that.
I'm not traveling for like a solid month.
All right. Well, then we got a month of lifting on Fridays.
There we go.
But what are like some of your goals that you have right now? Just things you're looking forward to.
Good question. I don't know right now. I'm trying to get through. I mean,
financially,
I'm just looking forward to paying off some debt.
I hear you.
Student loans. So there's public service loan forgiveness. I have about 3 years left on that. And then that'll be great.
Wiped.
That'll be gone away. And then paying off a car loan, and we still have 3-4 years left of that. So like those milestones really.
Okay.
For finances, for family, getting Crew into school.
Yeah.
Hoping to start him in school fall of 2025, so that'll be great for him.
Yeah.
And those next milestones of kids and seeing them progress.
Fair enough.
Really,
man.
in terms of overall like bigger goals, I don't think I have those right now.
Yeah, just kind of like focused on what you're doing already,
Exactly.
and then kind of like flying at the seat of your pants, like seeing what opportunities open up and things like that. Is that kind of like how you approach everything? Is like you're focused on what you're doing now, but open to opportunities if it presents itself.
I mean, usually I'm a big picture guy. It's kind of weird right now. I don't have that mindset. I think the show changed me a little bit. It's been very weird. I don't know why, but I always had like a 5-10 year plan before, and I don't really have that right now.
Okay.
Except one thing. Okay, so I have a goal. I'm building a modular city, as you know, with Lego.
Yeah.
I have a goal of having 1,000 base plates. At that point, I want to have my own traveling exhibit. Right now I have 20, so I'm not even close to that. But, I mean, that's probably a 10-year process right there at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean, so imagine having, like, seeing it in smaller museums, places like that.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
No, that's insane, man. That's so cool.
I don't have a timeline exactly, but it's whenever I get time to build. So I'm kind of driven to reach that.
Yeah.
So I want to build constantly.
1,000 or 10,000?
No,
okay,
1,000.
All right.
That's a lifetime right there.
All right. I was like, whoa.
That's too much. That'll be way too much.
Yeah.
But 1,000. So for now, I am 2% of the way there.
Yeah.
It's progress, but still a long way to go.
Well, that's one thing that I love, man, is like there's this guy, Nick Berry, talks about it. It's like endure the process, but also like enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't want to rush or force things. I want to make sure that things are to a certain level of detail to my level of quality. So it definitely will take time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
you saw the theater earlier, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
pretty detailed. So this takes time to get designs like that.
And you're presenting in Chicago, right? At is it
Brick World, Chicago.
Brick World?
Yeah, it's one of the largest Lego events in the country, if not the largest one. That'll be in mid-June.
Okay.
So I am shooting for 36 base plates by then. So I have 16.
Oh, nice.
More to go in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so you got 3 months to build that out. And I mean, you
should
got
make it,
you.
But also I have several events in April through June, so I'll have time to build after that point.
And all those are like on your social media, like where you'll be and stuff like that, at that same place that you said earlier on your Instagram.
Yep, at Live Up Bricks. Yes.
No, it's a lot to do, and I think that is. I know we talked before the show, or before the show came out, we had talked a little bit, and you were like, "I enjoy Lego, but I don't want it to like become my job."
And I don't see it as a job. It's a hobby. A hobby that can be profitable. That's the way I see it at some point. Because it requires me. I take it somewhere to a museum, and it sits there for like several months at a time. There's no work required at that point. So for me, it's a hobby that I enjoy. It's a great way to kind of decompress after a long day. And it's really stressed. So I like it. Yeah.
No, that's it's beautiful because like when you start making your hobbies feel like jobs, then it stops becoming rewarding to do it.
Exactly.
Like you said, you can do it and relax and enjoy your night, or after a long day at work, you could build a little bit and that gives you like some relaxation. I think that's bad when you're like, oh, I need to do this because it's work.
Well, there are times where usually or always before shows, when the final week before show is happening, I will get stressed out because I have to finish a certain number of buildings or base plates, and I'm always stressed out. So it's like up until midnight, 1 a.m. everything's done. So it's very stressful, but until that point, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you built for Toronto last year, right?
Oh my God, yes.
And you told me that you were like that week you were like slave in bed.
Yeah, it was rough, but that happens every time, unfortunately. Because I get most creative apparently right before a show.
Yeah.
So I have to finish my ideas out at that point.
Well, it's crunch time too.
Exactly.
And I think
obviously
like you work well under pressure. Like I think in a way it almost motivates you to get it done. You know what I mean?
There's times where I can go a whole week without touching a brick.
Yeah.
So I have no motivation to do anything. So it always comes right before a show. Every time.
That motivation just kicks in. It's like, I got to get it done. Damn, man.
I will say that I've been having a hard time recently finding the balance between what I build and what pass the bricks. It's like how do I balance my time with both of those things right now? Because it's hard for me to switch mindsets from doing one thing to the other. I can't do that very easily.
Yeah. So is that what pass me the bricks?
Pass the bricks.
Pass the bricks.
Yeah.
Obviously, you make a build, and then you have to write the directions, pictures, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get a Lego set, right? Like that's the idea, is that like you get pieces donated, and then from those donated pieces, you have to build X amount of the same model with those same pieces.
So everything right now is, every set is all different. There's no repeat sets right now.
Okay.
Because I'm not doing full-on instructions. It'll be, here's 3 photos. In the process of building it, you're gonna figure it out from there. Yeah. So more so inspiration at that point. So as a kid, I rarely bought sets or received sets, so I kind of built my own thing. I want kids to kind of have that same kind of concept
and imagination.
Well. Yeah, exactly. So I'm limited instructions.
I like it.
I'm going for, but it's still there if you want to try and build it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's smart, man. Like kids be kids.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I think Lego has too many, especially theme sets these days, like Harry Potter or Star Wars. But obviously the market dictates that.
Right, Marvel, things
Marvel
like that.
Too. Yeah, people love it. But I want to see more, here's a pile of bricks, what can you build from that? Here's a couple photos that you can possibly build yourself. Let's see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
But it's not the way it is these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is difficult. Because, like, obviously for them, it's like easy sales. It's
and people buy it, so I can't fault them for that at all. Because it's their business first.
Right.
It's about being profitable.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. But in the last 20 years, there's been so many new elements that have come out. Just like they're so specialized. Whereas before, you basically had a 2x4, 2x2 brick. Now that was your entire pallet.
Right.
There.
Yeah. Well, yeah, even with like the roller coasters and stuff like that, and like the cars, I've noticed like, I don't know, I've browsed a couple of times at the F1. Are they Autotronics? The things that like have a motor in them.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And those are just new aspects that I mean, I didn't have as a kid. You know what I mean?
Like Lego Technic's been around since
Technics, yes.
Since I think the 90s, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't as popular back then as it is now, but
Gotcha.
something I never really received as a kid. So that's really way beyond what I can do.
Yeah.
And plus, the motors are very expensive.
Oh, I bet.
They're not cheap at all.
Yeah.
I have like one now, but they're not cheap.
Yeah, the F1 car that I was looking at, dude. I mean, I think it was like upwards of like almost like $200 for like the F1 car that I wanted to buy.
That's not bad.
Not bad. $200.
Get the Death Star, William Falcon. Those are expensive.
Oh, I bet.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
Those are not cheap at all.
That's true.
But yeah, no, it's still a lot of money for Lego.
Sure.
The one thing though about Lego that's great is it lasts for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's a great resale value too,
Yeah.
especially if you keep it sealed. Which obviously you wouldn't do that, but
Right.
yeah.
You might encourage me. I might just pull the
Dude,
trigger.
let's get something.
And then
Put it right there.
all right.
Yeah, there
all
you
right.
go.
I'll buy one.
You know,
Next episode, be
background
looking in that
piece,
top
yeah.
corner for an
Has to be
F1
there.
car.
Has to be there now.
I'm gonna have you build it.
Why for you to build it? Why am I building it? It's yours.
Well, you're the master.
No.
Come on, man.
I prove
Do
myself.
me a favor.
Prove yourself. Prove yourself.
Prove myself. Gosh. Oh, you're gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna be texting you
instructions.
late at night.
Just
Just
instructions there.
Paul, it's been 20 hours.
How about you build with no instructions? There you go.
Yeah,
No
right,
instructions, yeah.
bro.
You get one picture. That's
Do
all
you think
get.
you could actually do that?
I can't. Not that size. No.
Okay.
I could not do that.
Okay. I'm out here like,
No
can
way.
Paul really just put together a
not
random
Technic.
set?
I can't do Technic that well.
You can't put together the Millennium Falcon with just pieces?
I can be close to it. I have like 800 pieces.
I have a
left over.
general idea.
Yeah, I
how
have a
it
general
would
idea
do
how it
it.
work.
Okay. Just built different.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So actually, at some Lego events, they have a challenge where you have to build a set blindfolded, like a small set, which is actually pretty cool. Some people get it pretty close. It's crazy.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Or build it in a bag without opening the bag up.
Oh.
But it's like, I cannot do that at all. It's too hard.
Dude, they should put you in that. I want to see what happens.
No, it was terrible. It'd be
You
awful.
say that, but this is you
can't-
being humble again.
No, I'm not being humble. I'm being honest.
Right.
No, I'm being real here. I could not do that.
You got skills.
That's hard,
You got
though.
skills. Come
It
on.
does not translate for being a Lego master. It does not translate at all.
Whatever. Well, how would it not? You've built more builds than
Okay, but do I configure things in bags on the show? No, that's not what happened.
you see other people do that.
People do it pretty good. Yeah, I could not do it.
People practice it. Don't tell
I
me
think
that.
so.
Oh,
Probably. And there's also like a drunk building challenge too, which is pretty cool. That I'm not
drunk building challenge.
done. Yeah.
They just like get you hammered and let you just build something.
You know who's good at that actually? Sam.
No
from the show.
joke.
Yeah, he actually won a challenge. Where was this at? We were in. Where was this at? This was in Seattle
Yeah.
at a show last year. He won.
Oh, I remember you told me you went to Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won a drunk building challenge.
Yeah.
How do they determine if you're drunk?
I mean, it's subjective, obviously, but he clearly was not sober. Clearly.
Okay, fair enough.
I think at least being tipsy or something.
All
but,
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was like, all right, everybody,
Got-
line up
everyone
for
has
these
to have at
3
least
shots
one.
of tequila,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh,
But he did a
gosh.
really good job. He's like I said, he's a fast builder, and he just knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw on his, so I did look up his Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
And he like, goes to markets and like sells like, I won't call it jewelry, but he sells things
Mm-hmm.
like artistically. I don't know if it's all, does he sell all Lego pieces?
No, I'm not sure actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I went to his Instagram and I was intrigued because I saw him like selling things. And I think he was like Lego inspired artistry pieces. But
That's really cool what he does. Like I'm not sure what I would sell
yeah.
at all. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I want to do something, but I just don't have the drive to figure out what that would be.
Yeah.
Right now, my main goal is to, like I said, focus on getting that exhibition going.
Yeah.
Really.
No, that would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Exhibition by Paul Wellington.
Could you imagine? Oh my goodness. We'll have a opening reception. Private. You're invited, of course.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. No, they when they did was it Lego World? What was that? They did a exhibition. Sorry, not exhibition.
Oh, here, Cincinnati.
Exhibit.
Brictionary.
Yeah.
Brictionary.
Brictionary. Yeah. Did
Actually,
you check that out?
I did. I actually went twice, once for free for a different reason.
Yeah.
But it was impressive.
Yeah.
And
Who made all that stuff?
So, actually, the host of the Australian version of Lego Masters.
Okay.
The Brickman.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his team made those models.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which is quite impressive. So, like, I don't see myself getting something that extensive. That's a lot of work. That's a team. I want to do everything myself. So something like maybe a quarter of that size or a third of that size.
Yeah.
Be great.
I mean,
I think.
Corvette size is still
It's
pretty,
still pretty
big,
big.
bro.
1,000 base plates, a lot of space.
Yeah. In the nicest way, the base plate, you guys know what that means.
So a base plate size, standard one, is 10 by 10 inches.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so is that just like how you're not using 10,000 base plates, are you? That's just more
1,000.
size of
1,000.
Okay.
So yeah, 1,000
Oh, you're
actually.
gonna use
1,000 base plates.
Wow.
20 right now. So it'll take some time, obviously, to get through that.
Yeah.
But that's my goal. So, I mean, imagine 10 by 10, and then even times 10 is 100 inches right now. That's already 8 feet.
Yo.
It's a lot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Maisie's going to be...
Well, at some point, I will use the garage or have to...
Okay.
I
was going to say, I was like, Maisie's going to be like, bro, this is taking up the whole
I will get a
room.
storage unit maybe at some point and just pay for that.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure about transporting. At a certain point, like, I have to get a U-Haul every time there's a show.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I'll help you haul it the first time at least.
You use your car and you're going to tow it?
Oh, yeah. Not quite. I was saying I'll use my hands.
I know.
Oh, yeah. We'll put the Honda on the duty of it.
Yeah, use my Prius. My Prius C.
Yeah, we'll put them together. We'll both tow down the road.
Yes.
Just one giant, massive Corvette Lego piece. Oh man. Well, shoot, Paul. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I'm gonna cut this until you want to talk.
Well, what do you
want
to talk about? I don't know.
No, man.
I'm open to anything.
I'm trying to think of other stuff. I mean, I got.
How long's it been?
Oh, I never hit record. It's been an hour and a half.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
What?
You didn't hit record?
No.
Hey, you did.
Yeah, I did.
like what? Like what? You're just not fun about that.
What am I doing here? Yeah. No, I did hit record. We got like an hour and a half done.
Was it an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Really?
See, dude.
Oh my goodness, felt like 45 minutes maybe. Wow.
Yeah. See, it's not that bad. Like I don't know. What did you think? So you've been on another podcast before, right?
Lego one, yeah, technically.
Yeah, but that's kind of. I mean, that's still a podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, that's true.
What was the format kind of like?
So it was going through an episode of Lego Masters, pretty much.
Oh,
so it's a lot more structured.
Just breaking it down.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Which this is more natural for me.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Now that's the purpose of like this setup was that like I said, I just would hit record and we could kind of unwind and have natural conversation. It's not like it's a forced experience. You know, it's not like, okay, Paul, next we're going to talk about this, or you know, I don't like those kind of podcasts.
Yeah.
Personally. And I think it's important to remember we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even though you've done some really cool shit and like been on TV, famous, we're still human and like we still have upbringing behind us, and like yes. I could be interviewing Joe Rogan, but I would still ask about how did you grow up? What was that like? Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's still important to remember everyone's humanity, and that's what I love about this interview is because like I love that kind of conversation. I don't know. I guess I love getting to know people better. Where are you from? How was your upbringing? having personal conversation. And that's one thing that I guess has inspired this podcast a little bit. And I hope to continue, like, I don't know. I'm glad that you think that this is more your speed, because that's exactly, like, what I'm going for. I don't want it to feel like it's a forced thing.
No, I just feel like, because something about this kind of recapping an episode, just not really, I don't have interest for that.
Yeah.
Really. Just, I mean, the host is fine. Don't get me wrong. The host is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, sure.
Was,
like, you're not,
fine. Yeah.
you're not hating on the podcast or the person. It's just, like, the concept, maybe, of, like, recapping an episode for you that you've already, you know, kind of lived through. And
I lived it. I watched it already. I want to see it for a third time. Not really.
Right.
Point. But I get it. That's their job.
Yeah.
To do that.
I did think it was funny how, like, you're, when we were at the watch party and stuff, a couple of them, but it was like some episodes you'd be like, oh, they cut something out. Or, you know what I mean? Like, because you were actually there for the entirety of these recordings, right?
Correct,
so, like,
yes.
any drama or any, like, real shit that hit the fan, you were there for, and you get to see how it was truly edited.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of hilarious.
I think my biggest fear going into the show is, how will they frame us?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Biggest concerns.
Yeah.
Didn't know, like, will they, like, stereotype us being black? It could have happened.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, thank goodness. But
Right.
it could have happened. That was my concern. And I think some folks were portrayed the way they want to be portrayed in the show.
Oh.
Not to a large extent, but to a small extent, I would say.
Okay.
This happened in past seasons, and it happened a little bit this season. Not with us, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But it's something always to be mindful of, and that was the concern I had going into the show.
Yeah. No, I could see that, because
We fought a lot, and like I hope our fight did not come out on TV. It was very like maybe once or twice the entire season that happened.
well, you're not alone either.
No,
you know, like,
no.
every single team probably had their meltdowns.
Everyone fought.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Everyone
Like,
fought at some point.
and I
Some
will.
worse than others.
And with it being reality, in a way, you're almost like, oh, are they gonna use it? Like, are they gonna use that juicy?
And I think Fox would want to, but Lego said no, you can't use this.
That's cool.
Because they're a family company.
Yeah.
So they don't want to kind of tarnish their brand.
Yeah.
But Fox was like been all for that.
Fox is like sending another cut, dude. They're like, hey, this is the juice. Let's send this right now.
Yeah.
And Lego's like, come on, guys. Like, let's
pull it back a bit. Yeah.
Pull it back a bit. Let's put in our funny, oh, gosh.
Let's have more corny Will jokes.
Yeah,
much.
corny Will jokes. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, thanks for coming on, buddy. I really do.
Nope. Try again.
No, I'm getting into the. This is genuine now.
Okay.
But, like, thank you for coming on, man.
Well,
I
thanks
really
for having me.
appreciate
Yeah.
it, and, like, I've been wanting to get you on for, like, quite a while, and I'm finally happy that it happened.
It's in my busy schedule, unfortunately.
Yeah, just traveling all over the world, dude. But anyways, so where can people find you?
So folks can find me on Instagram at LUAPBricks. And I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, of course. Make sure go like, follow his social. As far as this podcast goes, that's it for this episode. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment. All those things help. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Take care, everybody.